Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Item 55B.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, please say aye.
Mayor?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead,
Back
please.
to 55B.
55B.
And if I could have our Parks and Recs Director, Mr. Moet, come before us. I know that we had a lot of discussion on this matter, so I just wanted to get some clarification on what sort of the substance of the resolution is. My understanding, Mr. Moet, is that this is for a special fee or the staff fee, that, or is it for just the surcharge?
It's just for the soccer surcharge, correct.
Okay. There's an attendant staff fee as well that has to be considered, because there are synthetic turfs in the city, as we know, in the stadium at the Dan Young soccer field as well. And those artificial turfs or synthetic turf, they're very fragile, and they're very they're prone to damage. And I know that we have a warranty on those, and we have to care for those. You can't just spill drinks, or you have certain fluids or anything else on those, because then those start to decay and they deteriorate a lot quicker than we'd like them to. So we need to have an attendant that monitors
Correct.
the usage there, not just for the games, but for any other special
We
event
always
that
do.
has to take place.
Correct.
So the fee that's being passed through to any users at the field for the staff attendant is for that attendant to monitor and
Correct.
supervise the usage of those fields, correct?
Correct.
And that's all we're doing with the special attendant fee, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The surcharge is something that is a charge that are funds that go into a special allocation that we're trying to grow, so we can at one point be competitive with a grant application for some additional synthetic turf. And
That's correct.
And I know it's gotten to a point where it's very high. So that's good, because we're getting to a point.
We've passed 400,000.
Right. And once we get to about $500,000, which we're very close to, then we can start being very competitive on our applications. So
Yeah.
I know that we've received some communications. I know I have, and I believe the mayor has, and other council members, about the costs and how difficult it is right now for many of our families to be able to afford those fees to participate in soccer leagues and other types of leagues that use synthetic turf. So my concern is that, once this fee is now that wasn't charged at one time because the city was in much better condition, we have to charge that because it's coming out of our general fund.
Correct.
And
The
so we
staff fee,
can't
correct.
continue to subsidize that. So it's a fee that has to be done. It's something that's required of us to do. But the surcharge is something that's been done almost on a voluntary basis, because we've worked in conjunction with our league users that use a synthetic turf.
It only applies for adult soccer.
Adult soccer.
That's right.
And so, I'm not sure if we could consider amending the motion to reduce the surcharge further, because I know we reduced it from 28 to 14 already, and maybe staying that charge altogether, or leaving that, placing a moratorium on it maybe for a couple of years until things get better, but now start the imposition of the staff attendant fee, because I think that's something that we can't afford to do, because that's coming
Correct.
out of our general
Yeah.
fund.
And the action is actually to move the soccer surcharge from $14 per game, which currently that's the status, $14 per game, to $14 per day. This is the soccer surcharge, adult soccer surcharge. It will help the soccer organizations to have some savings, but at the same time will keep that fund active and slowly still growing, but not completely eliminated. That's a significant help, but at the same time we would leave the staff fee alone.
Right, but the staff fee hasn't triggered yet. It will trigger.
Yeah, we have not been collecting it just so that there's clarity on these issues, but we will soon have to collect it, because we can't continue to program the synthetic fields without replenishing the general fund that pays for the staff that has to monitor those synthetic fields. A synthetic field is 2.5 natural turf fields, so synthetic field is very valuable because you get 2.5 natural soccer fields.
Right. Right, and we understand how important it is to
Yeah.
monitor and supervise the usage
right.
of the field. So we know that staff fee has to be done. The surcharge, there's a little bit more flexibility on it
That's
because
right.
it's not a mandatory. It's coming out of the general fund.
It's not helping us
right
right now with our general fund expense. It's a capital fund that's growing, so that one day we'll be able to add another synthetic turf.
So my amendment to the motion would be to cap the surcharge and limit it and place a moratorium on it indefinitely as we consider imposing the staff attendant fee.
Okay.
Would you be willing to, the reason I'm asking this is because if you have, this, it used to be that, well, if you had $14 per game, how many games did you typically play?
Well, it depends on the there are some adult soccer organizations that will end up having quite a number of games, and then there are some that are smaller because they don't have as many players. So the larger ones will have quite a bit. Remember, it was only a few months ago that it was at $28.18 per game, and on June 21st, council reduced it to $14 per game.
And the reason,
Councilmember, maybe what we could do, just so it gives us an opportunity or a window to review it, why don't we go ahead and cap it for a year and see where we are?
sorry?
Cap the surcharge at zero
For a
for a
year.
year.
I think
as
that-
we
that's where I was going.
as we transition in the new
yeah.
staff attendant fee.
that's where I was going. I was going to see
Mr.
if we could-
Moet, is that something that we can move forward with based on your
Oh,
recommendation?
it's perfectly fine with
Okay.
me. It's, the surcharge is not having an impact on the general fund. I will do my duty and remind you a year from now, because you get 2.5 natural turf fields with a synthetic field, so I do believe the community benefits when we
Thank you,
have more
Director
synthetic
Moet.
fields.
I think you should remind us in 6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Remind us in 6 months. But we have a motion.
Second.
And
I'll
a
second
second.
that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
So I'd clarify, because I've got to amend the resolution here. I'm hearing, Councilmember Sarmiento, you want, the fee, this action will reduce the fee.
The soccer surcharge fee.
Surcharge fee to $14. You're proposing to leave it at 14, but suspend its collection for a period of time?
We could
Or am I-
either amend, you could wordsmith it either way. You can
The goal
either
is-
cap it, we can reduce it from 28 to 14 or 28 to 0 for the next year,
To-
or you can suspend it and stay the collection, whichever would be easier.
Again, you're trying to get the intent of the council here, because one, if you set it at 0, it will take another council action to increase it.
So then can we just?
Don't set it 0, just for, moratorium for a year.
For a year.
14 for 1 year.
Well,
So-
let him speak to me as the maker of the motion.
So it would be the action here, but then suspend collection of this fee for 1 year, for the balance of the fiscal year, is that what we propose?
Let's do it that way. It might be simpler to go ahead and do it that way.
That, I think you're getting a concurrence from folks. Now, our
That
city
would be
manager
motion.
wants to speak as
I
well.
want to get the motion straight.
Yes, that's very satisfactory. You'll have a date certain. Nothing really has to be done on the $10 because we are just voluntarily holding back on that, and now we'll move forward.
It'll just slow down the growth of that fund
Yes.
for that period of time. That's the only real impact.
Okay.
Do we
So I'll
have a-
consider that a friendly adjustment.
you wanna-
to the motion.
Just clarifying, so we'll amend the resolution to say, as it does here, to reset the fee at $14, and then we'll say, and then direct that the fee be, collection of the fee be suspended for the balance of the fiscal year, 10, 11, where are we? Yeah, through the end of this fiscal year.
Correct.
All right.
Do we need to take a motion on that?
That would be.
Well, let's say that that is the
council-
motion for
That's fine.
purposes
That-
of the
that motion-
clerk.
The language for that amendment is fine.
That's his motion.
I'll second.
And then we have a second. Those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you, everybody, for that.